to the 92%. In this moment of profound dismay following the recent presidential election, it's entirely natural to feel disheartened. The swift actions taken by the current administration, such as dismantling federal diversity, equity, and inclusion (DEI) programs and redefining gender policies, have validated our concerns about the erosion of equality measures. Historically, Black women have been the backbone of social and political movements, consistently advocating for justice and equality. In the 2024 election, approximately 92% of Black women voters supported the Democratic ticket, demonstrating our unwavering commitment to progress. Yet, the weight of these continuous efforts can be exhausting. It's understandable to contemplate stepping back, especially when our dedication seems unreciprocated. Recent discussions reflect a collective sentiment of reevaluating our role in social activism. However, in the face of adversity, our resilience has always been our strength. While it's essential to prioritize self-care and mental health, we must also recognize that our voices and actions remain crucial. Opting out entirely may inadvertently allow the rollback of hard-fought rights and protections. Let's consider a balanced approach: self-care and community care. Take the necessary time to heal and rejuvenate. Engage in activities that restore your spirit and strengthen communal bonds. Strategic activism. Focus on local initiatives where our impact can be immediate and tangible. Supporting community leaders, local policies, and grassroots organizations can foster change from the ground up. Collective empowerment. Mentor and uplift the next generation of activists. Sharing our experiences and knowledge ensures the continuity of our legacy and the infusion of fresh energy into the movement. One shining example of resilience and unrelenting courage is Representative Jasmine Crockett. She continues to stand on the front lines, fearlessly challenging misinformation and holding power accountable. Her recent exchange dismantling the rhetoric surrounding immigration and violent crime is just one example of why she is an inspiration to us all. She is still in the fight, and we cannot leave her to do this alone. We must support and protect her at all costs. Remember, our foremothers faced monumental challenges, yet they persevered, paving the way for the rights we hold today. It's our turn to continue this legacy, not just for ourselves, but for the generations that follow, in solidarity and strength. If you found this message powerful and necessary, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to hit the alarm bell so you never miss an update. Let's keep this conversation going and build a future rooted in justice and empowerment. See you in the next one.
Fired, Ms. Crockett.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chair. I am going to try to get through a lot quickly. As one of the few people sitting on the dais who actually practice criminal law in the state of Texas, as well as licensed in Arkansas and practice there, as well as federal courts, one of the things that you said earlier, Mr. Beer, really stuck with me, is that there are already laws on the books as it relates to those violent criminals. And I know this because even though I hail from the great city of Dallas, I can tell you that when someone would come in and they were being held in custody for, say, a crime, they also had an ICE hold, okay? And that was for those that had maybe been deported before and had re-entered illegally and things like that. And so no matter what type of city you're in, I do want to be clear, federal law already, no matter if it's under the Biden administration or if it's under a Republican administration, we all agree that we want to be safe. And I think that's the first premise that we're losing, because there isn't something that is tatted on my head that says that I'm a Democrat and therefore you illegal bad person, don't come for me, go for the ones that have the R's on their forehead. Now let me be clear about this as well, because we've talked about crime and we've talked about fentanyl specifically, and this is also something that I have dealt with, unlike some of my other colleagues. And listen, I'm going to be honest, because I actually want to fix problems. And I actually have a really good senator in Texas, and I'm sure y'all can guess which one is the good one. But let me tell you, if we care about fentanyl, I have multiple bills for that. I started on the state level before everybody started talking about it, and I have federal bills that my senior senator has signed on to. So I welcome my colleagues because I actually want to make sure that my communities are safe. But as we start to talk about crime and statistics, Mr. Beer, I want to play a little game with you. It's called Rhetoric versus Reality. And so I want to ask you, my first question, is this rhetoric or reality? Immigrants commit more crimes than U.S. citizens.
On a per capita basis?
Rhetoric or reality?
Oh, it is rhetoric.
Okay, thank you so much. Mr. Chair, I'd like to ask for unanimous consent to enter into the record this article, which states that undocumented immigrant offending rate lower than U.S.-born citizen rate, and this is from nij.ojp.gov.
Without objection.
Thank you so much. The next one, immigrants are just living off the federal government and contribute nothing.
That would be rhetoric.
Okay, thank you so much. Mr. Chair, I would ask unanimous consent to enter study that says undocumented immigrants pay almost $100 billion in taxes. This is from the Alabama Reflector.
Without objection.
Thank you so much. My final rhetoric or reality question is immigrants only enter at the southern border.
Rhetoric.
Okay, right, because they enter all kinds of ways. I just wanted to make sure that I put that out there. In fact, I have a few more questions because I still got a little bit of time, which I usually run out of time. We have talked again about crime, and there's been this overemphasis on it. And honestly, I can tell you that I don't want anyone to be killed, whether it's here or anywhere else. There is nothing about me as the child of a preacher that makes me say that I want people to die, okay? So I feel as if my colleagues from across the aisle have decided that they are going to make immigrants the boogeyman. It's insanity to me, but they also are showing compassion for victims, which they should, but they have no compassion for people that are contributing to making us great in this country. So interestingly enough, I'm curious to know, Mr. Beer, if you know if immigrants contributed to these particular crimes. There was a mass shooting in Buffalo, New York that killed a number of African Americans as they were trying to shop for groceries. Was the defendant an immigrant in that case? Do you know?
No, he was a U.S.-born citizen.
Thank you so much. Charleston, South Carolina, there were black churchgoers trying to praise the Lord. They were killed. Was that an immigrant that perpetrated that or not?
No, that was a U.S.-born citizen.
Thank you so much. Now, coming home to Texas, there was an El Paso shooting. Do you know if that was an immigrant or not?
No, they were targeting immigrants in that case.
In fact, each of these cases, it was white supremacists. And so the last unanimous consent that I'd asked for is this article that states that white supremacists behind over 80% of extremism-related U.S. murders in 2022.
Without objection.
Thank you so much.
Gentlelady.